Hello folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Justice Emmanuel Aqua and this is MrJay Grafix. Today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to walk you through how to start using Photoshop as a beginner. Before we jump into the video, please, if today be your first time here on my channel, do me a favor. Go to my channel, subscribe. This is MrJay Grafix, where designs comes to life. And so we have a couple of designs here, so kindly go to visit my YouTube channel and hit on the subscribe button, and let's get to 500 subscribers by the close or within this month of October. Without much further ado, let's jump right into the video. So when you come to Photoshop, if you open Photoshop for the fresh, it's going to be like this. I am using Photoshop 2021, so my bad if you are not using the updated version of Photoshop, but you can upgrade your Photoshop as well. You know, the reason why I keep updating my Photoshop, or I change it to current update version, is because, you know, the current versions give you a little, most of things that it's very simple to use it when it comes to the app or when it comes to the software. So I will recommend this to everybody that, you know, once you are a graphic designer, you have to make sure you use a software that is, you know, updated, so that you can get a lot of features. This one has a lot of features in here. That is why I decided to use this one. So if you open Photoshop for the start, okay, when you will open this for the start, this is what you're going to see. So once you see this, don't do anything. We are going to see there's going to be a file, edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D view, plugs in and all that. But now I'm going to start with you. I'm going to walk with you one after the other. Okay, so if we didn't complete everything, definitely there's going to be part 2 of this tutorial. So let me go to you can come here. Once you open this, you see this the tabs in here, file, edit and all that. Now come to create. When you click on create, you're going to see this new document features will pops up. Once it pops up, you're going to see recent, you know, this is the recent size pages size, you know, and we have the saved and then photo, print, we have art and illustration, we have web and all that. But you know, once you start designing, what you have to do, you are going to use this one and this one, okay, either photo or the print, because most of the times I use print. So what I will recommend to you is that just once you open the Photoshop and you click on the new, create new, just click on the print and then you start typing or create the size, the kind of size you want to use for your design. So now what I'm going to use is let's pick A4 size. Okay, let me change. Once you click on this arrow, you can change this to inches, because most of the times, a lot of times I use inches in my designs. So what is best for me is what I'm teaching you. All right, what is best for me is what I'm teaching you. So I'm going to use A4. Okay, now once you click A4, you see there are some features here. You tap here, you're going to see bitmap, grayscale, RGB, color, CMYK. Now, if you are designing a work and you want to upload it on the internet, you don't want to upload it on Facebook, Instagram, or any other social media, you have to use RGB color, right? You have to use RGB. That is red, green, blue color. Okay, and then the CMYK also have kind of a meaning, but I forgot it. Maybe on my next video you're going to find the meaning of RGB, but if you know, you can leave that in the comment section as well. So if you want to design the work, and the work that you are designing, if you want to upload it on Instagram or Facebook or any other social platform, go ahead and use RGB. Okay, and one thing that you have to make sure is that if you are using the work that you are designing, the work that you're about to design, if you were supposed to send to the person, maybe you are designing for a client, and then you have to send it to the client to confirm that, oh, everything is the design, everything, the coloring, everything on the flyer is okay, right? So before that, you have to make sure your work is on RGB before you send to the client. Don't convert to CMYK. Now, when it comes to CMYK is a color mode where if you want to print the work, if you want to print out the design, that is when you're going to use CMYK. Okay, so look at the difference between CMYK and RGB. RGB will help you to see the real color of the design. Okay, and the CMYK will give you the outcome of print out. If you want to print the work, then you have to go ahead and use CMYK. For now, I'm going to choose RGB because this work is not a printing work. Okay, I'm actually helping you, basically walking you through how you'll be able to go about if you are a first time using Photoshop here. So let's go to create. You wait for a while. Now the page drop out portrait form. Now we want to do it in the landscape form. So if you want to do a landscape form, what you have to do is go to image. All right, if you want to see a landscape form, a landscape page, go to image. Once you come to image, come down to image rotate. Okay, when you come to image rotate, click on the 90% clockwise. Now we have our portrait form. So if you want to go back to portrait, you can also go back here and then turn it. Okay, you can go back, image rotate, and you rotate it. Now what I'm going to teach you right now, you are first time using Photoshop. Okay, so once you see a page like this, what you have to do is what will come in your mind, like what should I do, what am I going to do? All right, in Photoshop, like it's kind of, if you are using it for the first time, you are going to be confused, but it's not confused. It's very simple. Just have to follow the steps that you're supposed to follow, and you will get everything right away. Now I'm going to teach you, these are the tools here. From here to here, it's called tools. All right, and we have this ones here. We have this plates here. Okay, we have number of everything that you are going to do here. there is this one is called layers. Okay, if you can see, Photoshop has already named this for you. You know, sometimes if you want to create something on your own, you have to create a layer. All right, layers is a way of, you know, creating a space. It's a space where you can drop anything of your choice. So assuming if I want to use a pen tool like this, you know, pen tool comes with path and then shape. So if I'm using path, definitely I have to create a layer before I can use the path. So this is the path. Without a layer, I can't use this. Okay, without layer, I can't use this. Now, because it's your first time using it, you're going to be confused. But once you take your time to go through this tutorial, you'll be able to understand it well. Okay, so now we have a tool here. This tool is called move tool. Okay, when you drop the pointer, you're going to see it here, move tool. So the shortcut for the move is V on your keyboard. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something. You know, before you understand Photoshop, listen here carefully. Okay, if you want to understand Photoshop, if you want to use Photoshop very well, okay, every particular tool here, okay, has what they has how do I put it? Every tool here has a particular job that they do. Every tool here have a particular job they do. Okay, so this move tool, okay, let's go for this. This is rectangle. We have rectangle, we have rounded rectangle tool, we have eclipse tool, and then so on and so forth. Okay, so now we are going to use I'm going to use this one. Okay, let's ignore the rectangle, and I'm going to use this tool right here, rectangular marquee tool. Okay, so I'm going to draw. Once you click, you see, you can see there's arrow here, hold, and then you select the marquee tool. When you click and hold. Okay, once you click, you hold, and then this one will appear, this one too will appear. So if you want to choose, you want to use this, either this or this, then you choose any of them. Now I'm going to use this one, so I draw. Now before I draw, you have to make sure, I told you that in Photoshop you have to work with layers. We work with layers. Okay, so a layer is a way of it's all about creating a different space. Okay, because if you don't create a space, there's no, whatever you're about to do here might not work for you, or it will not work properly for you. So you have to make sure you create a layer. And now if you want to create a layer, you see this one, either you come to this, you click here, layer, you see layer on top here, and then say new layer, so we click here. Okay, once you click, this one will appear. You can name it. Okay, so let me say music licensing, basic. Basic one. Okay, then you click OK. Once you click OK, it will appear here in the layers. Okay, so this is the layer panel. So you see basic layer 1. Now this thing that you're about to do, it will take place on the layer because I have selected. Make sure this one is select. Okay, select the layer before. Make sure the layer is select before you apply anything inside this marquee tool. Okay, now let's go for now I want to fill in a color. Okay, I want to fill in color. So in Photoshop, what you have to do is you have to make sure you switch between colors on this arrow. You click, once you click on it, you're going to switch the colors. Now because the background is white, so I want to use the black. Okay, now if you want to fill in something like this and you want to fill in a color, you hold your shift key and then you press your delete key. I mean your backspace, right? Don't be confused here. Okay, so let's okay, so now what I'm going to do, all right, so okay, so now if you want to fill in the color, you have to hold your Ctrl+D. Okay, I'm switching the color, so let me use black. So I'll hold my control and then press backspace on my keyboard.
Music licensing reimagined.
Either backspace or either control backspace or control delete on your keyboard. This tool is going to work out for you. Okay, so now after filling in the color, what you have to do is I want to get rid of this selection right here. So what I will do is I'll go to select, and then once you come to select, click on deselect. Now the selection is gone. All right, so this is very simple. Now let's do another one. So make sure you create layer. Okay, so you come to layer, click on layer, this one will pop up. So this is going to be basic 2. all right, okay, now basic 2, then you go for your rectangular marquee tool. Then you draw another one right here. So after drawing another one here, what you have to do is go and change your color. So I'm going to click on this one. This is called foreground color and this is background color. Okay, the first one is the foreground and the background color. So I'm going to select the background and I'll change, this. Wherever you select, you see, wherever you click, that is where it's going to apply here for you. So let me use, let's go with red. So now, if you want to fill in the color, make sure you select your layer before you fill in any color. So if I want to fill in the color, I'll hold on, just hold your control and then press backspace on your keyboard and you get to go. So I told you, if you want to deselect this selection, if you want to get rid of the select, you come to select on your tab, the select tab, and you click deselect. Then it's gone. Now I want to create, looking at this, I want to create a hole in between this one. I want to create a hole here and then hole here. Now what I'm going to do is, let me hide. You can hide the background with this eye over here, this visibility. It's called visibility. I'll hide it. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to create a hole. I'm going to cut part of this place and cut part of this place. Okay, so we are using the same marquee tool. We are using the same marquee tool to cut some space here. Okay, so once this is selected, make sure you select the black, the basic one, before you work on it. So I've cut some of the place. Now this is not what I want. So make sure you select it before you move. You work on it. Now come to edit and then click cut. So now you have cut some place, some part of this shape right here. Now let's work on this one too. So make sure you select it in the layers. Okay, make sure you select it. For me, I've placed mine on auto. Okay, that is why I can able to select it. You see, this is auto, but by default it is not on auto. So you have to make sure you select the auto before you can make any, you can click anywhere. When you click, it will automatically select the layer for you. So automatically, because it is, I've clicked on the auto select. Okay, so now let's check on this one. Let me go for my red. Okay, let me use, let's use the round one. Okay, so this is the round. Make sure you hold your shift, then you draw. You hold your shift, then you draw. You hold your shift and you draw. Then if you want to cut some part, you go to edit, cut. Shortcut is Ctrl+X. Then you cut it. So this is the first steps of using some of the basics, a basis where you can use Photoshop. You have to make sure that you have to understand that Photoshop works with layers. Okay, so you have to understand layers properly. Make sure you understand layers properly. So that is why I'm here to train you on that. Now, if you see, when we started, I told you that you can create layer by selecting on the layer type tab here, and you come here, layer, you can name it, or you can choose to go with this, the default name, or you can change it. Whatever name you prefer, you can give it out here. Now, if you want to create layer, there's another way here. You see this box here, there's this box that you can see a plus sign in there. That is the short way to create a layer. You see, when you drop, if you place your pointer on it, you can see there's everything that appear down there says create a new layer. So let's click on that and see what's going to happen. Every Photoshop has these features. Okay, every Photoshop has these features. So no matter the kind of Photoshop you are using, you can see this feature. Every feature here is under any Photoshop that you are using. Now I've created my layer here. So let's do another thing and see. We are going to use this same marquee tool. This same marquee tool. I'm going to draw a very simple business card. Okay, so you can double click the written here, double click on it, double click. Once you double click, you can edit the name. So let's write business card. Okay, now I want to use this. I want to change the color, so let's use blue color. Okay, so now if you want to fill in the color, hold on your control and then press backspace on your keyboard. Now if you want to deselect, then remove the color, the selection, go to select, deselect, then it's gone. Now we want to create another. So I just says that I want to create a very simple business card. So let's create another layer. Then I'll draw this one right here. Now I'm going to change this. Make sure you click on the background color, background box color here. Then I'm going to hold your control backspace. So you can see. So this is a very simple thing that you can easily do with it. Okay, now let's get rid of this. You press I just press delete on your keyboard, then it's gone. Now we are going to work on we have work on this, and then we have work on this one as well. So this is a move tool, right? A move tool, whatever. If you want to move anything, that is when so I've created this. If you don't create layer here, let's assuming there's no layer here, so just let me fill in the color. Now you can't move it. Okay, let me unlock. If you unlock it, then move it and let's see. You see, you have cut the background. This is a background, and you just make a trim on your background. Okay, so that is why it's the best way that you always have to create layer before you fill in your color. Control backspace, then you move it. You see, now it did not affect the background because you created layer for this eclipse shape and then this rectangle shape right here. Okay, so it's very simple like that. Now what else should we do? Okay, so now I'm going to show you one or two things right here. You know, the ones that I normally use is what I'm going to teach you. So if you open Photoshop tool after using the tool, okay, so let's say I want to bring any let's say I want to bring some picture. I want to place any picture here, okay, on the background. You come to file and then you go to open, click. You know, Photoshop, once you go to open, it will open another document space for you, okay? All right, so if you go to open, it's going to open another space, another new document, okay, another tab for you. So if you want the whatever that you want, if you want the picture to appear on this space, what you have to do is when you click on the file, you come down to place embedded, okay, place embedded, yeah, that is the word, embedded, place embedded. So you click on place embedded and then you select, you click, you see, so it will appear here for you directly. But if you go to open, it's going to open another document, or another tab for you on Photoshop, okay, yeah. So you have to know the difference between open and then open and then place embedded, okay, placed. So now you have just placed this here, you have placed it on the background of where you are working. So place, let me place another, yeah, so you place this logo right here, you see. So this is how this and this works. So if you are working with some picture and you want the picture to appear here, you can just go to file, place embedded, and then you select, and it definitely is going to appear here for you like that, okay. Now, so that is, and then if you also want to save your work after you are done, if you want to save it, we have save and then save as, okay. So save as, this save is after you have saved the work, okay, assuming, okay, so let me show you. This is save as, okay. So I'll just type the name, anything, and I'll press OK. Now you have saved the work, so the work has a name now. Now if you make any changes here, okay, so now let's make change. Okay, so now we have made change. So what you have to do is you have made change. So you have to do now you have already saved the work. So now you are not going to click save as again. You will click save, okay, and then it will automatically save your work for you. because you have already saved the work. So if you make any change, if you close the work and you come back and then make another changes, no need for you to go back to save as and then save the work again. You just click on save and automatically it's saved for you. Okay, I don't know, but you understand. As time goes on, you understand. So don't be confused. Okay, don't be confused. Now, what I'm going to teach you right now is okay. So let me show you another. Let's do this for the second time. Rectangle tool, that is marquee tool. I told you can create layers either from here or from here. Okay, once you click, automatically appear here. You can also double click on the name, just put the pointer on it and double click, and then you can name just give out any name of your choice. Once you are done, you go back to, you select the marquee tool, then you draw. After you draw, make sure you select your color. Click on this one, not this one, this one. Then you change, you select your color. You can drop this arrow down wherever you want to change it. You just drop the arrow, you click and drag. Okay, so wherever you prefer is where you are going to work. Choose it. Okay, so now hold your control and then press backspace. After doing this, what did I say? If you want to take out the selection, you come here, select, and then you click deselect, and now it's gone. All right, so this is very simple. Now if I want to cut some parts, you are going to use the same marquee tool. So now I'm going to cut this part. Okay, so you draw and then you cut some part. If you want to cut some part, you can also right click. You come to see cut. Okay, go for your marquee tool again, then draw a space here. You can right click. Once, make sure you select, make sure it has been select, make sure you select before you try to cut some spaces. Okay, so this one is gone. I'll go for my move tool. This is where the move tool works. Okay, so after you finish, make sure you go back and select this again. Then you go back to your marquee tool. Right click, cut, go for your move tool, then move it. So let's do the last one. Make sure this is select. You see, once you want to cut any part, make sure you select it before you can cut. Okay, so I'm going to cut here. Right click, select it, right click, then cut here. So this is very simple. So if you want to arrange them, you can easily bring them back. can bring them back, you know. So you just have to arrange them in a way that okay, so this is how, you know, you're going to arrange them for yourself. So this is how to cut, this is how to make cuttings, you know, if you want to cut some spaces or if you want to cut any object. Let me bring a picture, okay? So go to place embedded and then let's use this picture right here. So if I want to cut some space, okay, if I want to cut some, so what I'm going to do is, once you place, you can work on this picture, okay? You can work on this picture because this picture came as a smart object where you see you can when you are using smart object, you can edit, you can make some editing in the picture. Within the picture you can make changes, okay? You can make changes. But let's see this. I want to cut some of the picture. I want to cut part of the picture. But because I place the picture, so I can't. This is how Photoshop was made, okay? This is how it was made. Now I can cut this picture. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so I've go for my marquee tool. I want to cut some space. Now this one I copied, I didn't cut. I copy here, all right? But let's say if I want to cut, I can't cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rasterize it. Once you rasterize, you can cut anything in Photoshop. If you don't rasterize it, you can't create, you can't cut it. If you don't rasterize it, you can't make effect on it, okay? So sometimes you have to make sure you cut it, you rasterize it before you can cut. So let's go ahead and cut. Control X on your keyboard. Now I've cut some space. I've cut another space. All right. So this is how you should you should pay attention on. I mean, this is a basic way to understand a little principle for Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to end this tutorial right here, and then I know this little that I walk you through, you'll be able to understand certain things. We are going to make a part 2, and then the rest of the rest of the tool, I'll make sure I go through all of them one by one, so that you will be able to understand what is actually a way of using a Photoshop. Okay, so I teach you about how to use move tool. So if you want to move this here, you just select and you move. If you want to move this, you move it. If you want to move this, you move it. So that is the work of a move tool. All right, and I told you rectangular marquee tool, you can use it to create rectangle shapes. You can create shapes within it, or you can use the same marquee tool to cut anything in Photoshop. All right, so this is the best way to use Photoshop as a beginner. All right, so I'm going to walk you through one by one. On our next video, we are going to deal with the next tool, which is laser tool and polygonal tool. So this is where I'm going to end this tutorial. And guys, thank you so much for staying with me. If today be your first time, please do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also don't forget to click on the notification bell. In case of any new video, you will be the first person to watch. Thank you guys, and I'm going to see you on my next video. God bless you. Bye bye.